All right, part 2 of the Easter Island statue there. We're still working on finishing the ears. Obviously, the back is done now. I think the ears are the last thing that we actually have to do prior to sealing the cardboard. You're going to see me tape a little bit because I said I wasn't going to seal it, but then I decided to seal the cardboard so that it wouldn't get wet. If it gets wet, it loses its rigidity, and as a form, it would collapse potentially if there was wet cement put on it, and the cardboard needs to be sealed. So you're going to see me. Actually, we're putting the back on. It looks like we put the ears on, and now I'm unscrewing them so I can put the back on. I misstepped here, but you put the back on, then you put the ears on, then you don't have that step being in conflict there. But right now, finishing the back, and then, like I say, you're going to see me doing a little taping here on the joints. My thought is that there is an elevation change between one layer of cardboard and the other, and this makes a transition to where you don't eat up as much mud. I'm not worried about the cost of the mud. I'm worried about the weight of the mud. In addition, it doesn't allow water to get into the edge of the cardboard or in between the cardboard. In some areas, you have a gap that's larger than just 2 layers of cardboard coming together, so I'm going to address those too. But you're going to see me put on a little tape here, and then I stop, and then I take it outside and seal it with a clear acrylic, 100% acrylic, carried in a xylene-based solvent. It's just a way of getting that to where it is not going to allow the moisture from the mud to soak into the cardboard, making it lose its rigidity. Now here we've got 2 of the statues side by side, and you're seeing me tape. If you look on either side of the lower part of the nostril towards the edge of the cheek, you see a hole there where the cardboard doesn't fill in all the way. And I'm going to tape all those areas. On the left side of the eye area there's a gap in the cardboard. Now I'm outside sealing this just to get it, like I say, waterproofed, and sealing it all 2 coats, and then basically coming now in the shop and going to tape over. Like those areas where the tabs are, there's a huge elevation change there, and taping over it just gives a perfect skin, an outside skin that is just continuous without any real elevation change. Now here we're starting to mud. This is what we're trying to go for is a 3/4 inch lay. That's a finish of the structural mud, and then we'll talk about the texture mud. But all I'm doing is the very base, the bottom of it, where that base comes up along the vertical part of the base. I'm doing the underside of the chin and the neck, and then I'm going to do the lips, and then I'm going to do underneath the nose and underneath the brow, because those are horizontally, when the statue's in the upright position, those are horizontally oriented, and it's just easier to lay it down and do it. Now you're going to see us stop mudding here after the brow is done. Although I do the whole chest area, as you can see, I did the underside of the neck, the chin, the lips, the nose, and the eyebrows. Now I'm standing it up, and that one's done. You can see the one behind me where the guys are working on that. That's got the eyebrows, the underneath the nose, the lips, the neck, the chin, and the base. Now they're mudding the second portion of it. So now we've got 2 of them. They're both in the same position. The ones that the front 2 guys are doing are in the same position that I just lifted up, where the brow, the nose, the lips, the chin, and the base are done. Now they're just finishing all the other vertical surfaces. Again, 3/4 inch of mud. Now our mud is very special in that at 3/4 inch, 12,000 psi strong, it is unbelievably unparalleled in this marketplace. And again, for a 7.5 foot, 4 by 3.5 statue, 3/4 inch weighs in about 300 pounds, and it is strong. Again, the form of the cardboard is nothing but a form to gain the shape that you're after. It's no structure. But it is, like I say, a total hollow cavity in there, and the shell is what makes the strength. So that's what they're doing now. And again, you can't apply this with a trowel. It has to be rubbed in to get it to each placement to be unified. Now, Skylar's out there now, which is an unnecessarily
needed action here to grind the fiber down, because it's so hairy. To get it to knock it down, you could have done that when you were mudding it, and it should have been done. At the same time, grinding is often done for aesthetic, to bring into shape what should be already there. Now we're going to wash it down in preparations of doing the texture coat. This was the structure coat that we just did. So again, washing it down, getting it all done. Now the guys are still working on the two. The one I just brought outside was one that was finished. Now the head's too rounded here. As when I look back at the photos of the Easter Island statue, I made kind of an error here in my templated form here, where I think I rounded it too much. So what I'm doing now is using solid fill method with some styrofoam chunks and covering it over with some more fiber mud. You'll see as I get done with this top, you compare the front statue to the back statue. The back statue, the head has not been altered. The front statue, it has. Where the lips are here, the lips just popped out too much, and they needed to be subtle in their transition from all areas of the face to the lips. So I just kind of added to that. And you'll see the back statue I was talking about there, it was too round, where the front statue now is good. Now we brought it over to the other shop now. We're going to, again, now we're putting the Stone Tough admixture. It's a bonding agent and an admixture. We're spraying that all over the surfaces because we're about to apply a splatter coat of texture mud, which is going to give us the texture that we're looking for, which replicates the Easter Island statue. Although the statues that I saw photographically from Easter Island had a lot more roughness to it, mine doesn't have as much of that, but preference, I think, took hold here. But now we've got it outside. Now I took it over to this shop because this parking lot needs to be resurfaced, and splattering does tend to get a mess. So I didn't really mind it in this parking lot, but the fact is, the dash brush is, we've got a concrete pump. I could have blown this on with a concrete but my concrete pump takes about 1.5 buckets of mud to fill, where this was only a 3-bucket operation here. And the pool deck brush is my oldest form of splatter texture, and I think I like the effects of it more, and especially not having to hear the pump and clean the pump and get it started and have it plug and all this other stuff. So within about a half an hour, we had those, two of us had those 3 statues totally textured, and then we let it sit overnight, and then came back with a grinder wheel in our hand, a fiber grinder wheel, knocked it down. Now washed it, it's inside. We've now applied a bonding agent again. Now we're applying the hydro seal, and what I'm pointing out here is that you don't want to see the brush marks. This particular fireplace texture was not as rough as would be the statue, so I was just trying to indicate to you, watch your paintbrush marks. This is a finish surface here, and we don't want to see paintbrush marks. So again, hydro sealing it is the best mud that we can use in the cement realm to give us a seal. We're going to stain it and then seal it here. After I drop it off here, we're installing this outside my shop at home, and notice I've not put a concrete base down. Well, I didn't have my wife's approval to even put this statue there. She thought it was kind of creepy as we were making it anyway. So down by my shop, you can't see it from the house. So I didn't put a concrete foundation of at least 3.5, 4 inches to set this down. I just put it in the dirt. If you were going to do that, put some gravel down. You'll see me lay the statue down here momentarily, and then I'm going to dig out a level area on this hill. And at that point, if I'd have dug it another 6 inches, put some gravel underneath it, I'd have a better installation. Notice where my hand was just, the base of this statue has a vertical area on it, which I intended to have buried in the ground 4 inches, so you didn't see the underside of it. Again, foundations are important to long-term success. This is a clay-based soil, high clay-based soil, and if it gets saturated, it could tend to move. So I would want a foundation underneath it. In my particular case, I didn't, so I could move it if I was so ordered by my wife. Now again, the compressor, I don't have a compressor in my shop right now. I have a little teeny one, which the air gun wouldn't, to spray this on using an HPV gun would have been my preference, but not having the enough CFM to do that, I just used the pool deck brush, which is old technology which we used to stain this way. But for as little as I'm staining here, it doesn't take very long. I don't really address in this short clip the staining. I edited out a lot of it because I didn't have the time in this YouTube video. But with the staining we have in our other DVDs, but